Hello for kids, this is day 110 of me playing chess every day until I reach the rapid rating of 2500. But today I won't be playing a rapid game on chess.com because chess.com has some server problems, therefore you cannot really play games on chess.com for a short period of time now. So I will be playing a rapid game on Lichess. I will only be playing one game today, one 10 plus 0 game. So here we go. We have the game. I hope everything is fine with the video because I had to um, readjust some of my OBS settings because display was slightly different than on chess.com naturally. So let's focus on the game. I want to play pawn to e4. I will play the Caro-Kann defense, and we have the game now. d4 and d5, the Caro-Kann defense, nothing special. And e5, the advanced variation. Now bishop f5 is of course the main line, trying to develop the bishop before you play e6 here. c4 is already slightly weird. I mean, it's not bad. It's actually a good variation, but e6 and I'm very solid and nothing is wrong with my position whatsoever. Um, and yes, I will play knight d7, take the pawn, and play knight b6 again. The knight to to d5. Excuse me. This is very okay to play like this with the white pieces. Of course, very natural. Knight c3 is fine, I guess. We need to make our mind how we will develop. I guess knight to d7 here is the most natural move to most of the viewers here. I think it's the best move as well. So simply knight d7 and take the pawn, and knight b6 probably is how. I mean, bishop d3 I can even take, knight f3 also. We could play knight e7 here and play maybe like slow moves and wait this bishop to develop and then take, which I think is quite good as well. I mean, knight e7 allows knight to h4, but that's not really a threat because I will take back with the knight, and that's very good. So let's play. By the way, I need to play slightly quicker. It's not a 15 plus 10 minutes game. I don't have the time to do that because I already waited for chess.com to readjust some of their settings, but it didn't help whatsoever. And of course, if takes, then I will probably take with the c pawn, get the knight to c6, maybe to b6, or I can just take like this and take. He takes, by the way. Wow, I thought. I mean, takes that it takes. Therefore, I think that's really good. But I guess it is because it opens up my bishop for development. I guess that's also true. Bishop c4 allows knight to b6, which is just weird for me to for my opponent to allow that. Also bishop b4, and I have a lot of initiative. And see a reason not to play bishop b4 here. It's not really the way to develop in the Caro-Kann defense with bishop b4, but now bishop d2 I can just castle, knight takes and takes with check, and I'm perfectly solid and perfectly fine with that. Of course, the knight is pinned, so it cannot really capture on d5 on because then I would take their king, and that's illegal in chess. So bishop takes is bad move because you have already moved the bishop. Bishop d2 probably only move. Queen d2 also a possibility here, but why would you do that? Um, Bishop d2, but then you are pretty passive, and I have this weak pawn d4 that I will be trying to attack during the game here, and then simply castles short, play rook c1, rook c8, excuse me, queen e7, rook d8, and just push with this c pawn. That's my idea. I'm also up on the time, so I can use some colorful arrows here. Queen e7, then probably just rook c8, rook d8, and my position will just be solid enough. My goal is to play c5 and weaken these two pawns as much as I possibly can do. I'm not sure why my opponent is spending so much time. There are only two possible moves, bishop d2 or queen d2. He plays bishop d2, which is fine. Now I simply can castle here. If takes, I take on d2, which can be pre-moved. I won't pre-move though. But I think it should be the best move there because check. I mean, it's possible to do that, and if takes, then knight takes. But my knight on b4 is slightly weird. The knight is better on d5, definitely. So now probably this is not a threat. Probably this is not a threat. I would say it's not a threat. I can even play queen e7 here, just reinforcing my bishop here on b4. And then if knight takes, then I can take with the knight, and if bishop takes, I could take with the queen there, which is my idea by playing queen to e7 there. I think I will do just that. I mean, if a3 happens, I guess my bishop is trapped. But then I can take on c3, and if pawn takes c3, I can take with the bishop, which shouldn't really work. Queen e7 traps my bishop, which is quite a big problem, by the way. That's, I mean, that is a5, definitely a4. Queen e7, a3, I can even take like this and get the rooks to center. Yes, I like that. Developing, maybe it's a bad move, but I feel like, I mean, if knight takes, then I'm perfectly fine. a3 happens indeed. It should, I cannot say that it loses a pawn here. But I guess it does. But I'm not really so glad about this move. Knight takes e3, pawn takes e3, and I have to take on a3. Then bishop g5, and I lose. No, I have to take on c3 now with the bishop. Pawn takes, okay. Now rook c8 or rook d8 is the main question. I feel like both moves are fine. Also knight d7 is fine. Oh, that is a tactical detail. c4 is a big threat now. Because I put my queen on e7. a5 perhaps. Also this rook to d8 is possible here. It's developing and this is no longer a threat. I mean, not that big of a threat, nothing special. c4, of course, I go back to c7. And then, I mean, you are slightly overextended yourself, yeah? Of course, knight e7 has to be played pretty quickly, nothing wrong with the move. Bishop here will be a target maybe for my knight. And what? a4, I can just play a5? Queen e1. I mean, is a5 a threat, by the way? It has to be evaluated correctly. Bishop g4 is there. After a5, you can argue that I'm okay. I'm definitely under a lot of pressure here, which is quite bad. Oh, there is bishop d3, by the way. Wait. Bishop d3, who just wins the pawn? No, this is just now bad. I mean, what? And I have to play quicker. I'm down 1 minute and a half. Now I could take with the bishop, I could take with the knight. Taking with the bishop is much better. But it loses a b pawn. Okay, he doesn't go for it. But there was a5 takes. No, there was, what was there? a5 takes and queen takes and b7 is dropping. Okay, I guess I have f6 also. Probably not the best, but probably have to go for it. I mean, there is queen here, and I think I have enough. But b7 is also weak, so no, just play f6 and g takes on f6. Of course, if takes, then g takes. Not the best, not the worst either. My king is very open, which is very concerning. For now, bishop h6 here I think is slight mistake because I can play king f7 there. But queen gets to h5 with mate. No, it's not really mate, but I have queen g6, I guess. I could play e4, e5 as well, which I like a lot. e5, e5, queen b3, queen f7 takes. Queen f7 takes, slight problem. Or easy, then simply takes. Knight takes a take with the knight and take here. That's fine for me. I will go for e5. I don't have the time to calculate. Queen f7 I think works. And then takes back like this. Attacking the knight, the bishop, excuse me. I think that's fine. I mean, if takes, then I take your queen. Voila, game over. If you don't do anything, then I cannot do anything as well. Um, just knight b2. Be aware of queen b3 fork idea there. Um, I am slightly low on time. I mean, knight gets to e6 and it's pretty dangerous for white if he doesn't do anything. Knight f6, knight e6, excuse me, or this knight back to b6 and to d5. Hum. Okay, also d5 might be. I mean, I'm not attacking the knight yet, but my king is weak. I'm up a pawn. Queen b3 looks dangerous. There is not a. Yes, queen f7. Simply, I mean, if b7 is taken, then I think I'm much better. I mean, just intuitively, I didn't even calculate that. Maybe I should have. Yeah, wow. Okay, he goes for it. I thought at least I have like a lot of activity for the pawn. I mean, I can get this pawn, I guess, and 95. Okay, so let's calculate. So, um, we could try to trade off queens, but queen c7. Does that lose a queen? I'm not so sure about it, but I think it does. Yes, it should lose a queen. So here, if takes, I guess I lose this pawn as well. We need to play something. There is rook b8 here and here with a lot of compensation, but also knight a5. We also have only 3 minutes. Takes queen c6, I guess it's bad for me. Actually, this might be a very good move by my opponent. I will lose this on time if I don't move quickly. Knight d5. I mean, intuitively looks okay to get into an endgame where I should be okay, I guess. With king g6 also. You have to take me. So now I have to start pre-moving because otherwise I will just lose the game on time. Wait, what? No, no, this shouldn't work at all. I thought this loses a queen. I might miscalculate something after queen a6, but I think I have here winning the queen. Yes, this wins a queen. What? This wins a queen. With queen here, I can just play here. Knight. Oh, yes, but this just wins a queen again. Yeah, it's game over. Now I think I should be able to win this pretty easily, I guess. Um, I will be down to pawns there. I think I have a lot of activity though. Yes, I also see some forks there. Rook c1. Probably that's great. Um, we have to play quick. My opponent's spending a lot of time here, which is bad. That's bad because I mean you lose a queen anyway. Why would you spend like 10 minutes here just calculating how will you lose your queen? Come on, man, move. Maybe he's calculating like knight takes on e5. Wait, I have to calculate that as well. I guess just knight takes. When you can go back. Okay, but now... Uh, 92 is still... Queen G6 though. E7, 92. This is a... I mean... What is this? I'm up everything. I have a queen for 2 pawns here, so if you take... I could go here, yeah. E. There is 92 as well. So what should I get? 92 allows bishop to get back. I like a bishop here. Yes. And 92 maybe next, or knight here as well. A rook takes a7, I guess, works. And just have here, and then here e7. I just take the rook. 1 minute 20 seconds. Oh, this might be bad. Here and just trade off the knights and just play rook c1 there. I mean, I'm up queen and a piece for a rook and 3 pawns, I guess. Um, if you take me, this is mate. So rook a8, I guess only move, but then I go check and check. And this is not made because I'm pinned, but still should be winnable. 1 minute though. 1 minute is I mean, takes rook c1. So rook a8 only move. After that, I could even take king g7. I'm still threatening mate. If I can somehow sack the knight for something, should be. I mean, so yeah, but okay. What the fuck is this? I could even sack the queen, but okay. I mean, yes, queen c1 was a better move. I mean, here queen c1 just. Queen c1. But okay, let's analyze the game now and we'll see where went wrong for white. So this is the provisional idea how the game review will look on Lichess. I guess it's not the best, but here on your top right part of your screen you can see the evaluation bar. I mean the evaluation and the best move in the position. I mean it's not great, but for this non-permanent idea it is quite okay. So e4 was played and c6. Now he played the move d4, d5, and he played e5, which is the advanced Caro-Kann defense. Now my idea is to play e6, but if I do that, well, my bishop is stuck here. I mean, I have 0 plans in the position. I have already spent 1 tempo on c6, and c5 will just be um, a bad French defense. So I have to get my bishop out and then play the move e6. My opponent here played the very not popular move, very rare move, pawn to d4. It's not bad move, it's very good. Just threatening to take on d5 right away. So I have to play e6 here. I mean, it's the best move. Now knight e3 and the move knight e7 is the best. Knight e7 is also played quite frequently on the highest level of chess. So now knight f3 was played, which is already quite not the best idea here. You probably have to play a move like a3 and b4. This is also your idea. Just I mean, also takes and then takes, and the computer gives h4 even here. With an idea to trap my bishop here. Okay, he played knight f3, nothing wrong with that. I'll keep on developing with knight e7, and now he took the pawn. Now, the best move is to take with the c pawn, and this is where there is no more games in the Lichess database. That means that no grandmaster has ever played this position. So, until here, there were games in the database, but with this move there are no more games. Now the computer says c takes is the best. I took with the knight, which is also fine. Bishop c4 was played, and this simply allows the move knight to b6 to happen. Now bishop d3 is still the best move, trying to trade off the bishops, which would be pretty good for white. I mean, my bishop is not really... I mean, my opponent's bishop is not really doing as much because I have a lot of pawns on the light squares here, so he has no active diagonals here in the center of the board. This position would just be equal. He played a move knight b3, however, I keep on developing with bishop b4, pinning here, and just threatening to win an exchange, because if you just play h3, let's say, knight takes, b takes, and this wins a rook in the corner and the game with it. So he has to play bishop d2. He, by the way, spent like 1 minute here, which is very bad. The other move that is playable is queen to d2, but it's much more unnatural. I mean, this bishop cannot get out, and these are the only two options in the position. Otherwise, you lose an exchange here. I mean, you could castle, but this also loses a rook here because it is simply trapped. No matter where you go, it has no squares available. So bishop d2, the only move in the position. Now I castled, which was fine. He castled as well, and I played very bad move here. I think I played queen e7. I mean, not that bad, but after a3, wow, taking with the knight is the best, and after b takes, not taking on a3. I knew that takes on a3 was dangerous. I saw bishop g5 during the game. You can go back and check it out. But apparently there is the move bishop a5, and I thought my bishop is weird, this knight is weird. Bishop g5 still is the best move. So yes, I didn't take with the knight. I thought it simply, I mean, my bishop has no squares, so I thought I have to take with the bishop here. And this is bad apparently. I mean, it's +1 after only move in the position, which is b takes on c3. I mean, if you take with the bishop here, this is just very bad. You should go to prison for doing this to your bishop. So yes, b takes on c3 is the only good move. I played rook f8. Well, why? Well, if I just do what my original intention was, which I think was to play rook c8 here, that simply loses on the spot because c4 knight c7, and yes, not bishop a5, which would still be completely fine, but bishop to b4 wins a rook here, so that's bad. So I played rook f to d8. And still c4 comes and knight 7, and I'm just worse here, definitely. a4 haven't, and I thought that here my opponent made a big mistake by pushing the pawn to a4. Why? Bishop d3. Oh my god. I mean, yes, if we turn off the engine, it looks like this is winning for black. And it's true, if you play rook e1, the engine says still +1. Okay, I don't understand this game at all. But okay, the main idea after bishop g3 is, as you can see, play bishop g5 after f6. You can sacrifice your bishop and then take on f6 and then take my bishop, and I can just resign here. I'm down a pawn. Look at this king. Look at these open diagonals here. My knights are awfully placed. This would just be game over here. He played rook e1, however, I took with the bishop. He took, and now I'm up a pawn. Bishop g5 still has been played. I played f6 and he took. After takes, bishop h6, it's minus 0.2. The position is, let's say, dynamically balanced. Why? I'm up a pawn. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pawns. My opponent only has 5 pawns here. 3 on the queen side, or 3 on the king side, and 2 isolated pawns here in the center and on the queen side. Then why is it equal? Well, my opponent has some really nice compensation for the pawn, as it is called. He can play queen c1, he could move the knight, get the queen to play. He has some open files where he is pressuring my pawns, and therefore black is not much better here. After e5, however, I'm losing because of queen to c1. Well, it's attacking the knight. I didn't know that it was losing move. I guess b5 and then simply takes, and I'm just... Let's not... Oh yes, I mean, this pawn is just... He played the other move, which is to play queen b3 here, still attacks everything. It's still much better, but after queen f7, queen b7, I thought I am just much worse here. I played 95 because I thought I can survive this endgame. Um, and the computer agrees that's not as bad as like +3 earlier on. I will be down a pawn here. Let's say takes and takes and takes, and yes, I am down a pawn, but maybe I have something going on. Maybe not, probably not. Probably I would lose this endgame, but okay. He, yes, I spoiled it. He took the pawn on c6. Well, why did I let him take my pawn as well? Another pawn. Well, because his queen gets trapped. Queen a6, knight b5, and rook b8. Where can your queen go? Well, it cannot go anywhere. It cannot go anywhere. The only reason why it's not like -15 is because of this move, which is I also missed, by the way. Rook to e4. It's an amazing. Of course, I take the queen, but now rook g4 is an idea. King h8 only move and bishop g7. And if I go here, well, it's just a repetition. So I have to sack my queen. He takes me. I don't take back, but that would also be completely fine. I could also play the move rook d5 here, attacking the pawn. This rook is still hanging, and I would be up a piece here anyway, even if takes and then takes. As you can see, I have two knights. He only has one knight for exchange for one single pawn, and I would probably win this as well. He took here, and now it's -4 even. Just take the queen. He played e6, now queen g6, for example, attacks the bishop as well. I took it. I played here. I played the other knight to e5, and here he played knight takes on c5. Now, it's mate in two, and there are two ways to mate my opponent here. The first mate is that move that I played, and which after my opponent resigned, rook c1, but there was one prettier mate there, which is to sack the queen. Queen c1. I mean, it's the same idea, but I could sacrifice the queen here, but I didn't. I decided to play rook c1, but okay, it's still mate, and I still won the game. Nevertheless, I hope chess.com resolves their issue. I will go just on full screen for this outro here. I hope chess.com will resolve its problems, because I rather play on chess.com, and that is where I'm playing the most and have probably the bigger interest to play there. It's also just a nicer page, if I'm completely honest, but that's a discussion for another video. So yes, I hope you have enjoyed the video. I was playing on my main account on Lichess. There is no fork chess account on Lichess. I mean, there is, but I'm not playing there. So yes, I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you do it, please consider liking and subscribing. It would really help me out. And see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.